welcome to another episode of playonultra podcast. This is episode 173. Okay.
73.
173. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
I think
Not as long as the last one.
Not as long as the last one. Last one was like a full almost 2 months because.
Yeah.
But hey.
Because it was like, yeah. So yeah, things actually happened in the games industry this time.
I know.
Bunch of announcements were made. PS5 stuff was shown. They had the PC gaming show. EA Play Live. Oh, somebody put up a really funny, not funny, maybe sad also, like a montage. So basically, at the beginning of the PC gaming show, they were all like Black Lives Matter, and throughout the whole show, there was not even one like POC.
Oh no. Not one?
Not even an Asian or anything, just like...
Ah, jeez. Oh, come on, guys.
So
that's really weird.
I thought it was funny. But yeah,
Oh,
in a sad way.
in a sad way.
That's a way to start a podcast, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So how's your lockdown situation still?
Funny enough, Michigan is the only state that's like on track. Funny
Oh.
enough. Yeah. Latest, I think New York
Will it
is
matter though? Your borders are still open, right?
I mean, it's hard to say at this point. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say just because I think a lot of people are not really traveling, period. The only what will be the test for Michigan is 4th of July is coming up, and that is when we go up north. That means that we all have, because a lot of Michiganders have vacation homes in the northern part of the state, including my family, and so that's what we're doing. So that's the only problem, because up there, they're not big cities at all. So that will be kind of the true test to see how things go. But yeah, I mean, right now, Michigan and I think New York were kind of one of two states that were documented to have had basically the number of cases have gone down over 50%. So that's really good. I'm waiting to see certain conservative family members of mine apologize to our governor, but that won't happen.
I saw a I think it's Arizona. So like the governor or something said like everybody needs to stay home, and if you don't, you will get fined and arrested, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. This was like in May or something, and the sheriff said like this was against the rights, blah blah blah, freedoms, dollars, whatever.
Yeah.
And like 20 days after that, he contracted COVID.
Yikes.
Is that
It
even
might
legal to?
I mean, so
Can the
excellent
sheriff
question.
or cops just say like, no, we're not gonna follow whatever the big boss
I
says?
mean, a lot of them have been threatening that a lot of places have been threatening that. What you are seeing is each state, pretty much when lockdown orders happened, a lot of states, essentially the conservative senates and conservative senate members and stuff did push through to like the state supreme courts about whether this was legal or not, and every state kind of reacted differently. It's actually really interesting because Michigan and Wisconsin, which is our neighbor state, that the same thing happened. Both of them went to the Supreme Court to rule against the shutdown order. In Michigan, the Supreme Court said, nope, the governor's allowed to do this. In Wisconsin, they said, no, the governor can't. So actually, Wisconsin had a bad time because this was happening a couple months ago, they had to suddenly just reopen. We can't close up. And so what happened was pretty much a bunch of counties had to say, nope, we're still closed because the state couldn't. Luckily, Michigan didn't have that problem. Honestly, we're just very fortunate with how our governor and how our Congress has been. Because we almost did. We had those protests, but that was pretty much it. After those protests, people kind of grumbled and went with it, and I mean, here we are, and we're doing a lot better. Some places still are not, don't really want to open. Where I work, we're still trying to see if we can we're going to have to reopen, but like we're trying to see if we can kind of continue doing some work from home, basically continue seeing clients over the phone and in person, like have a mix of both. I think we're having that pass, but we're just waiting to get it passed so we can do that.
New Zealand is COVID free, right?
Yeah.
A couple of
still?
Yeah.
So they let in a couple of English people for a funeral.
Yeah.
They brought 2 cases over.
Of course.
No, it shouldn't count against them, but yeah.
They shouldn't be letting the English or Americans going in.
Just don't.
The problem was, you can go to these countries, and then when you arrive, you get quarantined for however long it is. But they ended these people's quarantine early for what was like bereavement purposes, kind of.
Yes, they did do that.
Yeah, this is unlucky that they picked those people apparently.
I think they should just fuck your bereavement.
I mean, basically, after that they canceled that consideration.
Yeah, they had to.
They should. Yeah, they have to.
We're
pretty much open here.
Yeah, poor Florida. Florida's governor is just a shit show. And they reopened really fast, and nobody cares over there. Not nobody cares, but a lot of people don't. It's a very conservative state. And they reopened, and then a few weeks later had to do they've done another shutdown, I think. If the governor hasn't initiated the shutdown, basically counties and restaurants have shut down themselves, which just sucks because if the restaurants can choose to shut down, but of course now they don't have the governor's help with being able to stay closed and potentially out of business as a result. It's just really sad. But yeah, Florida.
California's not doing too hot either. I'm not sure if it's localized. I know SoCal's doing worse than NorCal, but
what's
we're
happening?
on track to beat New York's record. Just number of cases. We're on the way
Yikes.
up. New York's getting better. California's trending up and up and up right now.
Oh, jeez.
And San Francisco seems okay, just in terms of what I've witnessed people doing. But my friends in LA, posting pictures of hey, it's my birthday. Here I am in a restaurant, hugging 2 other people, none of them wearing masks. In the background, you see a booth full of people not wearing masks. LA is just not doing it at all. So that's great.
Is it just because people don't want to, or
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was trying to think of let's if I had to mandate that everybody do an action, just you had to do an action. I can think of things easier than wearing a mask, but not a lot. Yeah. Wearing a mask is a fairly simple, easy, low bar of things to do, and people are losing their minds. It's oh man, and imagine if they actually had to do something inconvenient. We'd just be hosed.
I know. Dude,
you're already wearing a shirt. I don't. What do you I don't get it.
We have to wear shoes. We have to. Yeah, because I do know a few people, not they're just conservative family members essentially I know some family members that still think this is practically a hoax, and it's what do you mean? It just drives me up a wall. And I think the worst thing I've had to see is I'm not really involved with my family's church, but I'm still friends with a lot of them on Facebook and stuff like that. And one of the members is a nurse, and she at one point tried to say the governor was doing too much, and which kind of pissed me off. But I think she's since kind of relinquished that.
Friends.
Yeah. So I'm not super involved with my church family at this point, but I'm still friends with a lot of them on Facebook. And one of them is a nurse. And even though she at one point tried to be the governor's doing too much, but I think she since has kind of been quiet about it, but she's had to put statements out to be hey, please wear your mask. It's an act of love. And I think what drove me up a wall, and this is just an example of, white people, Christian evangelism, whatever you call it in America, but she had to be I've heard some people say that they're not going to wear a mask because it's God's time, not mine, basically saying it's spitting in the face of God if you wear a mask because you don't trust in him. And she's but please still wear a mask. And I'm I didn't know there had to be a discussion.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was an angle.
Yeah, it is a legit angle. I mean, there is a sect of Christianity. Some of them probably at this point. Some of them are a little too old to be anti-vaxxers, I would say, because they were around when vaccines were invented. But
it's the middle,
it's the middle. Yeah, exactly.
Some of them our age, but also
yes,
the
and
ones
a little older.
Yeah,
just younger than Boomer, I would say. Yeah, it's those people, and so they're the kind of people that they just don't want to, or they just don't want a Democrat telling them what to do. So they're going to say it's infringing on their rights and so they're going to connect it to their faith and say, It's a spinning the face of God because, you know, and when it's my time, it's my time. I have to put trust in him. It's like, okay, but you wear a seatbelt, right? You wear a helmet. You put your kids in a car seat.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. There is
and
a
wearing a
very
mask protect others, so that's...
yeah,
others
I know.
is the biggest deal. The lack of empathy is just
What if
staggering.
they, I don't know, are Muslims or whatever? Okay, scratch that. They'll probably want to kill them. What if they're like Buddhists or something? Like, you know.
I don't know, man. They're kind of crazy. I don't really talk with the people that are on that kind of end of the spectrum. I just kind of leave it alone, but yikes. I just have to hear from those who are more reasonable say, like, yeah, please just wear a mask. I mean, it was really sad because they opened up this, you know, my family's church, like, really early. Like, beginning of, like, end of May, beginning of June. Like, really, like, earlier than we were supposed to at the time. It all worked out, but, like... people were basically saying, we need to open up. It was just like, why? Thank God my mother was smart enough to be like, nope, I have peace that I'm going to just stay home. Because my mother is at risk. She has very bad asthma and breathing problems. Like, if she caught it, I'd be terrified. You know, so it's like, yep, you stay home, please. Don't let people pressure you to come, because they are crazy. Ugh, but yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. Thankfully, most of the people I'm around are a little less hectic. I am we're having family over this Sunday, but that's pretty much all I've been really willing to do. I haven't really gone out to see friends yet. I am going to be going up north in July, but we'll see.
At a restaurant a couple of weeks ago.
Did you?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I haven't done that in months. Feels like years.
Yeah. They had like, you know, you can't sit together, that kind of thing, like sit slightly farther apart. And yeah, I wanted to eat that because the food is really good and I miss it, so.
Fair enough.
But cases here are pretty okay.
That's good.
It's manageable. Even after the reopening. Like, all businesses are able to open. Like, next Saturday I'm actually going to see my tattoo artist for new ink.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to get a haircut and dye, because you can see the brown really coming in.
Yeah, I probably need a trim too. I just find it amusing that a lot of men in my office are complaining about like really puffy hair and stuff, and I'm just like, I haven't had a haircut proper in like 3 years.
You know.
So yeah, what'd you guys do?
I don't think I've done much. I've done Animal Crossing's getting a little bit slower because I am basically redoing my island and then probably stopping until like basically at this point Animal
Until
Crossing
like there's a huge content patch
until
or
there's like
something.
until the new month, because every month there's new like wildlife to catch for the museum, and when there's a big event, exactly. You know, that's probably what's gonna happen. But yeah, I've been playing to just kind of set up my island, get those damn blue roses that are impossible to get, and that's about it. Did I do anything else? Oh, I did actually try a new game for a stream that I was doing. It was kind of like a sometimes every other Saturday night with the other group I do, we try to kind of do like a game night with people essentially. So I tried Monster Prom, which is a game people have been telling me to play. Have you guys played it?
No, but I know about
haven't
it.
played it.
Okay. Do you guys know the Yogg? The Yogg,
Sounds
okay, if you haven't
familiar.
played the Yogg, I do recommend it with some people. The Yogg, basically, it's actually a very quick party game. Very quick. You need 2 to 4 players. And essentially, the idea is you have like 6 weeks before the Yogg comes, which is like a cataclysmic event. And so you like kind of pick where you're going to go to spend your last 6 weeks, essentially, well, 6 days, I should say. And you raise certain stats. And then the idea is when the Yogg comes, you got to, you know, try to help out or something with the town and see if you guys made it or not through the Yogg. And there's different like special endings depending on the stuff you do. Like that's the simplistic version, but there's a lot of cool, silly stuff. You can become a vampire, you can be like a werewolf, like just kind of silly stuff that happens. There's always something new and it's fun and it's really quick to do with people. So Monster Prom was based on that premise. So you can have like 1 to 4 players, and the whole idea is, again, you're kind of picking different places to go for your last like 2 weeks at school, but you're trying to also get in the good graces of one of the monsters to try to ask them out to prom. And I played it with some people, but it's really hard. Like, it's real, like, you know, at the end, nobody got a date.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't quite know how it works. I think you need to have certain stats and basically happen to have met up with one of the monsters enough times, I think, and like say what they want to hear, and certain interactions and stuff like that. But it seems really tricky, because yeah, nobody got a date. At the end,
real time or is it kind of like turn based?
it's turn based.
Okay.
So it's very turn based, very simple. So like literally when it's your turn, you pick a place you're gonna go for that hour.
Yeah.
Because it's split up between like your morning time,
Like
your
a normal
lunch
dating
time.
sim kind of thing.
Kinda,
like, go to the
yeah.
Gym, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And you might see like two monsters and interact with them, and depending on your answer, one of them will like that more than the other, and it might raise or lower your stats a little bit and stuff like that. I've only played it once because they have two versions of the game. One's like 90 minutes, the other's 120 minutes. Yogg is way shorter, but Monster Prom, because there's just so much more reading and stuff, it takes a little longer. But it's. So I imagine the longer version is a little more intensive. Maybe there's like, it's almost easier because maybe you have more opportunities to actually like get with somebody. I don't know. But so far, I only played it once and I like it. I want to play it again. I couldn't play it more than once because this was like 10 o'clock at night. I am narrating everything for the stream and my voice is just raw. So,
Yeah.
but it seems fun. I would, if you've never played those games before, try the Yogg first and then try Monster Prom. It's just Monster Prom's a bit bigger than that. Yogg is simple and super fun at parties. I highly recommend it. But yeah, I tried it out and probably will try it again for another group stream. We'll see. Did I do anything else of note? My brother has been playing Persona 5 Royal, so I have been witnessing it. I'm
mad that I see so many people prefer Royal just because there's a new goal or new content. I'm like, the quality of the content has to...
I know. I mean, to be fair, like they don't know any different. They've never played the first one. They only have
No,
Royal,
I'm saying
so.
people who, like, the Persona 5 subreddit, for example.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, a lot of
And
people
people
like
like-
it. I don't know.
They were like, true ending better than the ending in the Royal is so bad. Oh my god. It pisses
I don't
me
know,
off
man.
so much.
The only thing I haven't watched like every
No, but
single
some of it
second
is like, I know a lot of it is subjective, but some of it is like objectively the character was just badly written.
The new girl?
Yeah, and it's just a lot of like just felt very forced into the story and the relationships. And
I
part
was
of
actually-
it is they added very small new scenes to incorporate her,
Yes.
but most of the other scenes were, and you can never get a proper like mesh that way.
Yeah. No, I agree. Actually, what you know what actually really pisses me off about her, like more than anything? She, to me, seems kind of bland. Just based on what I
she's
have
very
seen
bland.
of her. And it makes me so mad because it's like, this could have been, you guys make your male protagonist that bland. You could have just done that with her. And it wouldn't
She's
make a difference.
So that's the problem with this one, because for lack of a better word, it gets good in the last dungeon,
Got it.
because that's when like they were able to like build a whole new story. But that's the
Right.
problem with it, right? She's so bland for like the most of it, and then at the end when they were able to just create the whole new content without trying to screw up whatever they already have, it's kind of, it feels a little late, because I already hated her by that point.
Fair enough.
And I'm not sure if everybody's like best waifu just because they want to fuck a 15-year-old. I'm not sure.
I mean, all of the dating aspects of this game is all sorts of messed up. The
True,
doctor, the
but this
teacher.
one is like, I don't know. It's just, but I agree. She is very bland up until
She's
the
so-
point. She's not bland at the end, but
Okay.
when you reach that point, to me, it's kind of pointless already. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
it makes sense. It's just very infuriating, especially because, and I'm gonna get on my soapbox again, it's like, Persona 3, they added it and it was kind of icky, but like they could have, from the get-go, just said, okay, you can choose your gender.
So,
it's just more infuriating because she has
FES is the PlayStation 2 expanded one, right? And then a
So
portable.
Persona 3, when they made the female version, that was for the PSP or Vita, one of the two.
PSP.
PSP.
Portable. So the
And
FES expanded one on the PS2 was not didn't have
it was
the
yeah, it only had the male, which was infuriating because it only had the male version. Because yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers about Persona 3, but like, yeah, it only had the male version of the story because I'm sure the writer was like, there was no way we could continue with how we wrote that part with having the female protagonist apply. It's like, yes, you could have. Just stop. Stop being lazy. But no, it's just infuriating. What's actually really infuriating is in Persona 3 when they had the male-female, the male was kind of had a blue motif and the female had like a pink-red motif. And it's just very infuriating because the Persona 5 protagonist doesn't really have a color, I would say. But it's darker, it's black, he's got black hair
and red,
stuff.
I guess.
Yeah, but she's red. And so it's just even more like, okay, well, I don't know. It's just very infuriating to me. I actually am
Persona
wondering
4
if maybe
is on Steam.
it
You
is.
should
Actually,
play
I have it. My brother gifted it to me.
Cool.
So I
It's
may
honestly
try it out.
the best.
It is
in
good.
my opinion.
I've seen it before. I know the story. But I'm gonna give it a go. I'm not sure who I'm gonna go for though.
I played Persona 3 like halfway because it got like I was like younger. I didn't really understand how Persona worked, and it just got way too difficult. I couldn't get past a certain part of the story.
Yeah, no, 3. I from what I've heard, 3 is the kind of game that like if you. Because what's hard about 3 is with 4 and 5, they basically give you like, 15-day deadlines to do what you have to do. In 3, if I recall correctly, I think they're monthly deadlines.
I felt very rushed.
But it's the kind of deadline where you can't do it all in one go. You need to like get through parts and parts of the dungeon until you get to the end. Because just trying to run it through all at once, you really can't do.
It's definitely
so
not the most friendly one. But Persona 4 is amazing. I'm thinking of getting it again just to replay it on the big screen.
I'm gonna try it out. Like I've seen the game, I know how it plays. My brother and I kind of played it together we got the PS TV a long time ago just to try it out. So
Hold
I
on
know
to
how
that.
it plays.
It's selling pretty expensive these days. The
It was
PS
not.
TV.
It was not expensive when we got it, so I think we got it on time because it really wasn't that expensive.
It's expensive simply because like not a lot of people bought it. I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
There's really no reason to buy it. It was kind of stupid that the game wasn't just ported to the PS4.
So yeah, which is annoying. It's on Steam but not on the PS4. So
yeah, what? Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna probably give it a try because I've never
Atlas
really.
is like, oh, the Persona 4 sold so many copies. Yes, people have been asking for a Persona game on the PC for a long time now.
Yeah, seriously. So I'll probably give it a try. I might stream it. I don't know which girl I'm gonna go for though. My brother went for Rise because of course he did.
Forgot who I went for. I'm pretty sure I went for the short hair sporty one.
Yeah, Chie. That's probably what I'm gonna do too. I like
her the best.
Yeah, I think that's
she
what
has
I'm gonna go
she had
for.
the best personality. Now that's how you write a character. That's how
exactly. Oh gosh, I liked Naoto, although lots of problematic things with how they dealt with her character.
Is that one the
I do
singer?
like her. Huh? No, not the singer. She's the detective.
Oh right.
Kind of see. Don't know if trans or cross-dressing. They kind of played around with that kind of awkwardly. But romancing her is kind of awkward, and honestly, I'm just gonna say she's gonna be with what's her face. There was like sexual tension between her and the buff guy, so I'm just gonna have them have that. And I'll take Chie.
So yeah, Fo, you should play. Are you into JRPGs? I don't really know actually.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I haven't played them in a while because they're
grindy.
They're hard for me to record content for because they're like the grinding is just a lot of off-camera stuff I have to do, and I don't find them compelling to play, like or in a negative way. Like I find World of Warcraft compelling to play because it's like that stupid Skinner box kind of thing. JRPGs don't usually hit me that way, so I love JRPGs, but it's just when I have time to play video games, I find I don't play them as often lately.
I would definitely say playing it on the Vita is still the best option, simply because grinding on a handheld just feels...
Totally.
I know you can just sit on the couch and grind. And
exactly.
Sometimes you can do something else.
TV.
That's how I did.
You can put on the TV while you're doing it, yeah.
That's how I grinded in Bravely Default. I just had my 3DS open while I was working. And because the Bravely Default had a bunch of they had fast forward, they have auto actions, it made it really easy to grind.
So if I just go on Steam and say Disgaea 4, it'll come up.
Persona 4.
Not just
Persona
Disgaea.
4.
Speaking of grind,
Now
speaking of
that one
grinding-
is a fucking
oh,
grindy
golden,
one.
golden. Yes, golden's on my wish list. It's only $20, but I don't. I'll buy it if I want to play it immediately because $20 isn't too much. But I'm gonna wait.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was gifted to me from my brother, so I gotta get into it.
I was worried because I played Persona 5 first, and then I moved to 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried of the
Yeah.
the quality of life stuff that Persona 5 had. That Persona 1, no, everything was good. Like
Yeah, it's a pretty
they had
solid
pretty
game.
much. I did not find it like I did not feel like I was playing a previous generation game, apart from like the graphics, I guess. But
Right.
even
yeah,
then,
it's pretty solid.
yeah, it's really good. It's probably the best Persona for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
it's
it's even
very
close.
popular.
4 is the best or 5 is the best?
4
Oh,
for golden.
okay.
I didn't play
Yeah,
the original 4.
I've heard a lot of people say like they love 5, but if they've played 5 and 4, they usually prefer 4.
The story is just much better, and the characters
The
just
story. Yeah, I like the story's just very more. It's just more visceral and just I don't know. It just kind of the elements just blend a little together.
I
for
like
me.
5, but 5 had the whole very interesting shit, and then the end boss that doesn't really fit anywhere kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
To me, 5, like, I mean, I know it fits, but doesn't really, like, for me, it just felt like kind of, this is the end boss that will let you fight that has, like,
Yes.
multiple stages to fight through.
Right.
That
Yeah.
has somehow controlled the story.
Yeah, because Persona games kind of have a trope where there is a human bad
JRPGs
guy.
have that
Yeah,
trope.
that's a JRPG thing, but Persona especially, you have your human bad guy,
Yeah.
who's kind of like a twist usually, and then you find out there's like an evil shadow essentially that was controlling him or something or her or something like that, and so that is your end boss. Yeah. And in Persona 4, if I recall correctly, and even Persona 3, those kinds of elements were much more neatly tied than they. I
And
haven't seen
also
what Persona 5 does, but.
the story itself, Persona 5 started off really strong, but kind of just tails off after that.
Gotcha.
But Persona 4 was just interesting throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, Persona 4 it's a murder mystery, literally. And it's like you want to try to figure it out, and it's really like tense. And I just kind of like the themes of like how everybody gets their personas and stuff just a little more in
I would say
in
Persona
4 than in 5.
The best thing about Persona 5 Royal is the amount of time that's given to you.
Yes.
You can pretty much do
Yes.
everything in one run.
Yes, that is true. And they make it too because I remember it in 4 when you have like a deadline, you pretty much want to wait till the last day to do it because then otherwise, if you do it too soon, you basically just skip the rest of your days. In 5, you don't have that. They actually fixed that issue. So just a hint to keep in mind if you ever play 4. When they tell you got 12 days to do it, just wait till the 12th day.
Okay. Is save scumming kind of a thing that you do a lot? Where you like oh shoot, I missed my days, reload the previous.
If you're like my brother, you do.
It really depends. Because Persona 4, if I'm not mistaken, can you get a true
I
ending
guess-
in one run? I don't remember. I think you can.
I think so. I'm
I'm pretty sure
really
I played only
hard.
one run and I got a true ending simply because
Okay.
I followed the walkthrough.
Yes.
I did not want to
really
play it the
hard.
second time, so
Yeah, you're expected to play Persona games multiple times.
Right,
There
right.
are ways to get the true ending, like he said in one run through.
to
but
get
yeah,
a
you
true
have to
ending,
follow
you don't
along.
have to 100% the game. You just have to have certain relationships at a certain level before certain
Yeah.
dates.
Yep.
And that tends to require you to optimize the time that you use.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my question kind of was, like, how often is it that you know, like I'm about to make a really important decision, save the game, make decision, oh, I don't like it, roll back the save, as opposed to, oh, this thing happened because of a decision I made like an hour ago in real time. Do I reload my save or do I just soldier on ahead? And it sounds like it's probably that one where, like, just the way you play the game has.
I'm trying to
deep impact.
think. It depends. If you're thinking about, like, I'm trying to raise certain stats and stuff like that, 'cause it's got dating sim stats,
Right.
that one you're going to see immediately, because you're like, oh, it
Right.
raised this stat. Shit, I didn't really want that. So that
Because
one's a little
also,
more
like,
immediate.
you gotta... It's the same as Persona 5, right? If I remember correctly, certain, like, once you reach a certain level in a relationship, you need certain stats to get past it or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If I recall, yes, that's
It
correct.
should be.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's
It's been a while.
that. Yeah, I know, and I've just been kind of experiencing it, like, as a watcher, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's more like that. In Persona 4, I'm just remembering, there are certain, like, decision points, and there's very, very few of them. And if you want certain, if you're, like, kind of investigating, like, to get a good or a bad ending, those ones, like, they can take a while. Like, because we were just curious, because we had a walkthrough and we were playing Persona 4, and we are like, oh, look at this, a bad end. Like, there's two bad endings here. Let's try them out. And, like, the problem was that the gap between saves was very long.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Because you can only save, I think in 4, you could only save in, like, one place. It wasn't like you could save anywhere, like 5. I think you could only save in one location. So that's what made it even more egregious. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can find, like, simple spoiler-free walkthroughs to get a true ending, I think. I'm pretty sure I followed
in number 4,
something
there's a bunch of them. Yeah. Not much in number 5, as my brother is finding out, much to his chagrin. And it's pretty funny, because he gets really intense on these things. And he's
so
like,
5 Royal, I just followed I just basically Googled how to get true ending, and then there was just, like, 3 or 4 bullet points. But because I've already played the game, but also the fact that they give you so much time. Like, just they give you so much time.
That he's stressed out right now because he knows those bullet points. He knows what, like, because basically to get the true ending in Royal, you have to have certain, like, new people have to have certain levels in their relationship. And
by
he's
certain
kind of
dates.
Panicky. Yeah.
No,
he's kind of panicky. Yeah. Because I was like, because he's good with one of the, it's just because there's the summer off, you don't get to see so many of those people.
Royal is probably the least stressed Persona game I've played.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to tell him he needs to take a chill pill, because he is, like, freaking out.
You have a new semester.
Yes. But in order to get that semester...
some people are not available in the new semester. Like the politician.
Okay.
So there are some people you should focus on during the normal base game. But, like, the expanded semester, like, your party, you can, like, just chill with.
Yeah. But I thought you couldn't get the extra semester unless you got ranks with certain people. Is that not true?
Yeah, I forgot. But basically, the certain ranks for certain people, the 3 people that we're thinking of, is super easy to get.
Oh, really? Okay.
If they're available, go see them. That's all you have to do.
That's kind of what he's doing, and he's just. I think they are not as available as much in, like, the beginning, but I think
don't worry about it.
Super. Okay, that's kind of what I figured.
I did it so fast that not even close to the dates, like, I'm not able to see them anymore because I've reached, like, the max for that point.
Got it. Okay.
But also, I followed, like, the walkthrough to, like, choose what's the best. Always have the proper persona on you to get more relationship points and choose the correct dialogue option, basically.
The correct option to make them like you more. Get those 3 music notes, baby, or 2.
Seriously, it's the least stress. No stress at all. Actually, it was super breezy. All I had to do was just keep in mind who I needed to see in the base game, especially.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got nothing. He didn't mean to get into a romance with An, but he's kind of just like, all right, well, we're with An now. Just because she was like the first one.
I got together with everybody.
Did you really? Did you have the Valentine's Day thing?
Yeah, I had the thing.
You scoundrel.
I wanted to see it, so.
So, Foe, this is just kind of funny. In Persona 3 was kind of when they first started the dating sim stuff, and in that one, you pretty much had to romance everybody to get their highest levels. Like, you couldn't not romance all the girls. It was really weird. And there was no repercussions for it. It was just like, all right, I guess I'm romancing all these girls now. And the same when they flipped it with the female version. So in 4, they kind of realized that was a little bit silly. So now they make it pretty clear when the romance starts, because you have to get kind of high up there in their thing. But you can start romances with multiple people, but there's always an infamous Valentine's Day event where they all come and call you a piece of shit and then they'll leave you. It's not a good time, but it's a really funny scene. So, scoundrel, Char. Scoundrel.
I just wanted to see the scene, but Makoto is best waifu for sure.
I love Makoto.
I love Makoto.
She's my favorite if I were playing this game. That's like, my brother went with An, but that's who I would have gone for.
An is just stereotypical hot blonde. I'm not really into.
Yeah, she is. But she was
Makoto's
first. She was
best.
there. Yeah, Makoto's. I love her. That's who I go for. Anyway.
So yeah, Persona.
So, Foe. Bo, enough about Persona. How have you been doing?
Good. I've actually been really into Starbound this past month. I just got into it.
Isn't that Terraria in space?
Yeah, I remember like seeing it like ages ago and being like, oh, it looks like a worse Terraria because it looked less sandboxy and like I don't get why you'd want to be in space because Terraria is all about like base building. So what's the point if you're going from planet to planet? You don't really have a base, which that part is true, but it's got much more story, which I really like, and it's got like a really good progression system in terms of like upgrading your mining tools and stuff. So that's been really fun.
Does it actually have base building?
You can build a base. So far, the only incentive I've had to build anything even approaching a base has been I built a farm, just so I could grow certain things a little faster.
So can you like go back to the previous planets?
Yeah, you can. It's weird. It costs resources to fly from star to star, but it's free to fly from planet to planet, and you can plant flags, and you can teleport between flags for free as well, even across star systems.
That's pretty cool.
It's and so for the most part, like rather than building like a base, you can kind of just turn your ship into a base because, often a planet will have not often, but frequently a planet will have like an alien settlement on it. And the aliens will give you pretty menial tasks, like, hey, deliver this thing to somebody else, or go kill this thing over there. And when you do these, there's a chance that they'll offer to join your crew. And so every 2 crew that you recruit, you can expand the size of your ship. And I can't remember what the cap is on size, but you can essentially just turn your ship into a mobile base.
It's randomly generated, right? The planets and stuff?
I believe that's a good question. They definitely seem like it.
Cool.
But the solar system itself, like the galaxy itself, I don't know if it's randomly generated. In terms of like, I think the overall like position and names of the stars is kind of the same. I don't really know though. But yeah, I like the progression. I'm playing it on casual, so the penalty for dying is very, very minimal. It's been pretty fun. I think that's pretty much all I've been playing. I'm still playing WoW a little bit. I've been playing StarCraft 2 again a little bit more than usual, but mostly it's just been Starbound.
Ooh, were you ever into Command and Conquer?
I wasn't, but it's funny you say that.
The remaster just came out.
Yes, I was considering picking it up because in StarCraft 2, in the co-op, you pick like a commander, and they play very differently. And my favorite commander right now is Han and Horner, and I've heard them described as like, this is the commander for you if you like Command and Conquer. It's like, well, I've never played Command and Conquer. That sounds interesting.
The story is, and it's not like normal like World War type of stuff. It's fucking out there. The story.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty insane. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not typical like hoorah World War II bullshit. It's like this psychic just controlled everybody's minds everywhere in the world kind of shit.
Oh my gosh. So like Metal Gear kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Very cheesy.
Okay.
And they kept the FMVs. All the FMVs.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna buy it someday. But it's pretty cheap. I think it's only $20, I think. Or is it $30? It's not like a $60 game.
Demo.
And I think
3.
it has 3 games in it. Command and Conquer.
I'm not sure which Command and Conquer this is.
Remastered collection.
Oh, remaster. Okay, I don't see that on. Maybe it's not on Steam. Maybe it's on like GOG or something instead.
No, it's on Steam.
Or I need to scroll differently.
So it's on Steam and Origin. Which, funny enough, actually, EA has released pretty much all their games on Steam now. Sims 4, all the new stuff that wasn't on there. Not sure why though. Command and Conquer and Raid Alert. What games do you get? Yeah, it's $20.
I'm not seeing it for some reason. That's fine. But other than video games, I watched all of a Netflix anime called Dorohedoro, which was pretty fun. It's pretty weird. The ending's not the most satisfying thing ever, but I definitely look forward to season 2. So like the main like crux of the story is there's this world which everyone just calls the Whole, and it's either like below or like a different dimension from like a world full of wizards. And so the wizards will frequently come into the hole just to practice their magic on people, and often it's fatal. But one guy, the main guy, he has a lizard head, and so he's trying, and he lost his memories. He's trying to find the wizard who gave him a lizard head, and to do that, he will take the wizard and put them in his mouth, and inside of his mouth, there's like somebody else who will like look
Wait.
at them, and most of the time he'll say, "You're not the one," and then he'll pull them out and like, "What did he tell you? What did the guy in my mouth tell you?" And they're like, he said I
What's this
wasn't
called
the one."
again?
He's like, Doro Hidoro.
Okay.
It's weird. It's weird, but the music's really good. And I find the world kind of cool. Holy cow! This Red Alert trailer has an insane cast. Tim Curry, J.K. Simmons.
Tim Curry, yeah.
Friggin'
J.K. Simmons plays the
I
vice
don't know the
president.
names.
President, vice president.
I don't know the
can't remember.
roles rather. Who else was in it? It's what's his name? Oh, freaking George Takei's in it. Commodore Norrington, not Commodore Norrington. The other guy from Pirates, the dad, the guy from Brazil, whatever his name is. I'm looking at his name right now, and I saw one of the guys from Pulp Fiction. This is insane. This seems like worth the price of admission just to watch these FMVs.
Yeah, they're good, like in a bad way.
Yeah, totally. I didn't see the remastered one though on Steam for some reason.
Remastered is Command and Conquer and Red Alert 1, I think. I'm not sure if we get Red Alert 2. Not really sure what's in this package. Or is it just Red Alert? I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm gonna play it.
I only see Red
someday.
Alert 3. I know, an Uprising.
So Red Alert 3 and stuff, they were, I'm pretty sure they were already released on Steam, but this remaster is like newly released.
Yeah, I just can't find it for some reason. I'll have to search later. But I think that's pretty much me. Oh, I watched a movie that I now love called Shogun Assassin. It's like a samurai movie from, I don't know. It looks pretty old, but I want to say the
1980.
70s. It's the 80s? Okay, because the soundtrack, it's almost like a like a 70s porn soundtrack. Like, it's so groovy. And it's, I really, like, unironically, I love it. But the movie is basically just a samurai pushing a stroller with a baby getting attacked. That's like the whole movie. And increasingly, you find different ways the baby stroller is also a weapon. Like he'll like rip out like a railing and it'll turn into a spear, or like he'll kick a button and like two blades will like fly out of the wheels and he'll just kick the stroller into like a crowd of people and cut all their feet off. Like, it's so good. It's so funny.
Apparently, it was
Definitely.
made for British and American markets.
That's why it's so cliche. It's good though. Like, I find it very entertaining.
It's
Shogun Assassin. Check it out.
it's like two films in one. Apparently, it was just like edited and compiled from two
interesting.
films. Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder.
The name of the original series is called Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay. I've heard of that. I didn't realize that there was like a relation. I hadn't seen it, so I didn't know that there was a connection. That's interesting. I'll have to watch
Where
that
did you
one
watch
next.
this? Netflix?
I have a pirate friend.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much it. I think after our last podcast, I did watch all of Mythic Quest. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, did you like it?
I did.
It's funny.
I didn't love it, but I liked it. That was funny.
I wasn't able to find it. Was it on Netflix?
No,
It's not
it was
Netflix,
the
right?
Apple
It's
TV
the
one.
Apple.
Apple
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, I wasn't able to find it.
There's one really good episode that you could just watch this episode in isolation. Like, it doesn't really fit. Like, I mean, it fits into the whole show, but like, it's a flashback with completely new characters, and that one episode's really good. It's about like two people like making a video game and like having to make tough choices over like
It was
commercial success
intense.
versus artistic creativity. Yeah, it's really intense. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the characters are really annoying, but I found most of the jokes to be decent, I guess. I like how much they shit on streamers.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
Oh,
every streamer, like,
gosh.
hey, this is a kid. He's a real piece of shit, isn't he? Like, yeah, he is. Just like,
Oh gosh.
like we're adults.
Yeah,
They're
it
doing
is
themselves too. It's funny.
Yeah, it is kind of a everybody sucks here show, which
That's true.
I
There's
will
not
admit.
really any good guys.
Yeah, which I will admit normally I don't like usually so much, but I think because they all know that, I can swallow a little bit easier. Like I tried to watch I did watch all the way through Parks and Rec pretty recently. And I enjoyed the show.
That's a good
but
one.
I will admit some parts of it were hard for me because I was like, that was a terrible thing you just did. Like
Yeah.
what do you
A
mean?
lot of sitcoms is just a bunch of people being dicks.
It really is. And I think with Mythic Quest, because they kind of, I would say, lampshade most of it, like, kind of acknowledge it for the most part, that I could kind of take it a little bit easier. But yeah, for sure, there's really no good person on that show.
Yeah, maybe the two like QA testers.
Yes,
But
the
they're
two
not-
QA
they're not
testers.
really-
Oh,
they're not really in it enough to count.
no. That's, the,
Ashley Birch.
yes, played Chloe in, Life is Strange.
Mm.
Plays another gay character.
I think she's
That's
gay
kind
in
of the-
real life.
I think she is. I think she is. It's just kind of it's been a bit of a running gag.
Mm.
So.
I think that's it for me. Did you guys see the trailer for Star Wars Squadrons?
Yeah. Looks
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of Star Wars video games, but
Right.
good gravy. Like just like the sound of spaceships and like Star Wars blasters, it's like it gets my heart rate up. Like, oh man, I want to do
And
this.
it's gonna support like, all your
VR.
not just VR, the crazy peripherals that people like to use in
Okay.
their simulators.
Oh, cool. Good.
Like joysticks and
awesome.
that other thing that they call
Throttle.
it. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's gonna have a single player campaign. It's gonna have multiplayer battles with AI if you and also no microtransactions apparently.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. When I see it.
Because a lot of companies have, they've like released the game and a few months down the line they will release the microtransactions.
Yeah.
So that the initial reviews don't
Once
have
the
it.
sales have begun to die out, that's when the microtransactions begin. Which whatever,
yeah.
I guess.
Looks really good, and it's not a full price game too. It's $40.
I didn't
Nice.
realize that. Wow,
I actually
that
didn't
actually
know
means
that.
I might actually buy it.
Yeah,
I'm like, it looks cool, but I'm not gonna buy it. But if it's 40, maybe.
and it's available on Origin and Steam.
All right.
Or is it Epic Games? Like one of those other stores that's not Origin.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will be really good, and everybody will be like, "Oh, EA is not so bad now."
Could be. Yeah, I don't know what makes that kind of game good. I'm trying to think of like other similar games that are reviewed
there-
as good.
Wasn't there? I think there were quite a few Star Wars dogfighting games.
Rogue Squadron was quite popular.
Isn't that
I
the
was gonna
GameCube one?
say-
Yes.
I think so.
I think
That
so.
was a PS2, but
Was there one
I
for
didn't
each?
play it.
Is there Rogue Squadron 2? I don't know.
I know there was one on the GameCube that was really popular.
And
I can't
people
remember
liked
what
the
it was called.
dogfighting, or at least the spaceship parts of like Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I
which
think
Battlefront
the
2?
hard I don't know.
The old Battlefront 2 or the new Battlefront 2?
Probably the old one.
I
Okay.
think it's the old
Just
one.
go with the old one. That's why you don't name your fucking games the same name that. Okay.
The hard part for me whenever I play these games though is almost always my strategy just becomes to like just fly really far away, then turn around and then shoot everything, and then fly really far away again because I'm not good at like maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see all the really high level stuff from the really good players.
Yeah.
I've been playing Yakuza 4 because I just finished Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3 was okay. It's probably the weakest for me in the series so far
Oh.
in terms of the story. Gameplay was okay too. I played on the PS4 because I bought the remaster collection with 3, 4, 5. Yakuza 4 is pretty good though. I think it's much better than Yakuza 3.
Okay.
But and also I've just been mostly playing Borderlands 3. But I've watched a couple of things. I finished Doom Patrol
Oh.
Nice.
and I love it. It's amazing. It's so fucking good. And season 2 is coming out in a week.
Pretty soon, yeah.
Yeah. So good. I love all the characters, and the story is just super weird, and they don't give a shit that it's super weird. It's like it's just so good, dude. But I wasn't expecting to like it so much. It was just really
It's
good.
definitely underrated. I feel like it's hard because it's pretty weird. Like there's a lot of very like deeply unappealing visuals that I think turn a lot of people off pretty early on into the show. But it is good. I mean, that's why I stopped watching it, because I just saw something where like, oh, that's like body horror stuff, and so I just stopped watching it. But I should finish it because it was good.
It was really good. And I was watching Legion at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was weird, but this one was like just much better because it was just really consistent, and then Legion had like a really bad like CG
Oh,
too. So
this is pretty good CG.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's probably have a higher budget or something.
The
I'm not
cast
sure.
is so good because you've got Brendan Fraser as the voice of the robot guy.
I love
Alan
Brendan
Tudyk
Fraser.
as like the narrator, and like Timothy Dalton as a sign. Like it's just a good cast.
And Tudyk is really good too.
Alan Tudyk's amazing and everything.
So it's just an amazing show. Like I wasn't expecting to love it so much. Really excited for season 2. It's on DC Universe or whatever that's called, right? The DC streaming platform.
I think it's right, DC Universe.
Do they do weekly releases or do they do like Netflix?
I mean, the Harley Quinn show's weekly, so I assume.
Which is another one I need to watch. The animated one.
Yes.
Is that one? I've
Yes.
only talked about it before and I've already forgotten. Is it a cartoon or is it live action?
Cartoon. Harley Quinn's cartoon.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did watch Birds of Prey and I fucking love it. Jeez.
Oh, it's so
Yay!
good.
It's so good.
So good. I need to see. I've only seen that movie once, just because like we just haven't got a chance to go back in theaters. But that's a movie that like if I had more time on my hands and didn't have COVID, I would just gone back and back. I cannot stop like loving this movie.
I agree that the movie looks like it was made by women.
It does. Like it just
Like written
go
by women
forever.
and
Because they're people.
Yes. Well, like, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry to get on a rant because I think I've done this twice in a row about Birds of Prey, but I have to mention a scene, and I don't know if I mentioned this scene before. And I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is a really big deal whenever you have action movies with women.
is it
There's
the
just-
complimenting ones?
No, it's not that. It's a very minor thing, a minor editing thing. It's when they're trying to help Cassandra, and they're in like that warehouse thing, and there's a big
You
truck
mean near
that
the
comes
end?
in, I think. No, oh God, I think in the police station. I think they're in the police station, the evidence room. If that sounds
Okay,
correct.
yes. Yeah, something like that.
Very minor part, a blink and you'll miss it kind of part. Harley gets thrown, and like she's trying to get up, and she's getting up, and like you see her leg jiggle. And I know that sounds like nothing, but you have to understand that how women are like, whenever they do all the editing with any kind of movies and stuff, they're always like perfectly in their fit bodies, and like nothing ever jiggles. It's a big deal. And like it was such a blink and you'll miss it moment. You're just like, oh my gosh. But
I
yeah,
just
the
love that
compliment thing
they
was
compliment
great.
each other. Yeah. And
That was great. The hair tie.
my favorite is the what's her name? The assassin, the one that everybody calls Crossbow, whatever. Crossbow
Oh,
killer.
Huntress?
Yeah.
Huntress, yeah.
What's
She's my
Huntress?
favorite.
Oh. I don't know if I could decide between Huntress or Black Canary. They're both great. They're so good. I need to see that movie again. It made me so happy. And I'm usually not into the anti-hero stuff. Like, I'm not even a huge Harley Quinn fan, to be honest with you. I really
Yeah,
not.
I'm
It's just
not
not
really.
my thing.
I would argue, I don't know a lot about Harlequin, but I would argue this probably isn't a very faithful Harlequin, which is for the better.
For the better. No, for sure. For sure. I don't know. She's just a difficult character to work with, I think. You kind of have to play her more anti-hero, especially if you have her away from the Joker. Also, I loved how the Joker was not that important in this movie. Oh, so great. And Margot Robbie killed it. It just makes me so mad of how she was in Suicide Squad, because she did a really good job here. Anyway.
Suicide Squad was just that was
Oh, it's so bad. If I ever have to see that movie again, I need to drink alcohol.
I still
I
haven't
was not.
seen it.
Don't.
And I don't intend
Oh,
to.
It
don't
wasn't-
unless you have alcohol and way too much time on
It
your
wasn't
hands.
as so bad as good movie. It's just bad.
It's not
Right.
good. It's just bad.
I watched a review of it, and it just sounded so bad. So
That's probably all.
frustratingly
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. If you have a favorite reviewer who can riff on it, that's enough. A Mystery Science Theater kind of thing. That's enough. I paid money to see that movie because my friends, they
I
all
did
knew
too.
it was a shit show, but they thought it'd be fun to watch. However,
Yeah,
I
that's
had to drive by
reasonable.
myself, so I couldn't even drink. My friends were
Wow.
able to drink because they were all getting driven by somebody else. So it was like, this sucks. This is just terrible. So bad.
I also finished Beastars.
Oh, did
Hey,
you? How
nice.
is it?
Oh, I love it so much.
Oh, cool.
It's so good.
Okay.
It's just one of those fucking slice of life's romance, and at the end you just fucking hold their whole hands already. Fucking hell.
I don't know if they're ever gonna really get together. Like,
Oh man, that
they
pisses
gotta
me off.
keep stringing it out somehow, throwing obstacles
Yeah.
in them.
Season 2 is only coming out next year though, which is
Not very soon.
yeah. I was contemplating on finding a manga and reading it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. It's just so dark too. Like, I wouldn't say it's Japanese Zootopia. It's like Japanese Zootopia plus super dark ass shit. Super adult, very mature.
There's a lot of murder type stuff in it. Like, it has some pretty dark concepts.
Yeah.
Zootopia makes it sound more lighthearted than it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just great. All the characters, I just love all the characters, especially the two main ones. Beastars is amazing, and the animation looks really good too for CG.
Yeah, I've actually, between Beastars and Dorohedoro, I've actually
Oh,
become kinda numb to this CGI.
is the lizard one
type
also
stuff.
CG?
Yeah, the same level. Like, it's not. I feel like something. I don't know specifically what, but the CG looks different on those two things than it does for earlier Netflix CGI stuff, like the Berserk movies. These newer ones still have elements which look cartoony. It's only when you get into a lot of the high motiony actiony scenes that you really feel I noticed the CGI.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gotten better. I think it's just gotten better.
Yeah. And the last thing I watched was Parasite. No, that's the one I like the least.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
My friend recommended that to me. I was considering watching it next, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna watch
maybe I'll
it
watch
too.
something else.
You don't
I
think
mean-
it's not? You don't...
It's good. Just
It's not
your
as
favorite.
bad.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It was way overhyped, I feel.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
okay.
fair.
Yeah, it's just oh my god, best movie ever made. I watched it. It's I understand all the messages about the social classes and stuff, but I just feel it wasn't really that part wasn't. It was explored a little bit, and then it became the crazy mystery stuff.
Hmm.
Do you guys actually know what it's about ish?
Not really.
No,
I've
I
heard
know
that
it's
it's a commentary in class, but I don't even know if it's a drama
So
or a
that's
comedy
that's
or
the
what.
thing. It has commentary on class, but I feel it wasn't really fleshed out properly. The commentary on class, and I mean there are elements obviously, but it's just at the end of it still kind of just became a very typical over dramatic Korean movie.
Hmm.
And I don't know. That's also and I feel the ending is not super realistic because poor people do not win. So I'm not saying they won or whatever, but I feel they should just go all out in making it look the way it is. How poor people or whatever just get fucked in the ass all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was way too overhyped. And I think the only reason it won the Oscar is because so many people just kept talking about it.
Oh shoot!
I wonder
mean,
how much
wait.
of it is because it's a foreign film.
I thought you were talking about an anime called Parasite.
Oh no.
No, that's
Also
different.
had recommended the movie. I have seen the movie. I liked it a lot. But yes, I agree. Overhyped.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I was planning to.
Although I
just
would say
'cause-
I did like it more than Beastars probably.
Seriously.
I mean, they're
It's
not
like a very
super
different-
comparable.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna say they're very different.
very different. It's just that when I was watching Parasite, I was like, I just want this to be over.
That's true. That's true. I mean, Parasite's not like fun.
Yeah.
It's it's like it's grim, kind of dark.
News time.
News time.
The PlayStation 5 stuff, they showed off Grand Theft Auto 5 because nobody played that before. At least
it's getting ported to something, right? Like
PlayStation 5.
PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Yeah. And people are losing their minds, and I don't really know why. Is it because they wanted a new Grand Theft instead?
Yeah. I mean, come
Okay,
on. PlayStation 5 was
fair
on
enough.
the PS3 of all things.
Yeah. That's fair. I wasn't sure if they were mad that it was getting ported. Like, oh, this is supposed to be like a Xbox PC exclusive, which didn't make any sense to me because it's not.
No, people are not
Now
that
it
they're
makes
milking
sense.
it like crazy.
Got it.
Crazy
That makes-
milking. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto. I
And
think it was the
Skyrim.
first thing that they showed. So that's a good thing. At least they showed the shittiest thing in the beginning.
That's not how you should do it, guys.
Um,
Just start and end with your best things.
A new Spider-Man game is coming out, Miles Morales. So
Oh, cool.
it's not
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, but it's gonna be a full-on like standalone expansion kind of thing.
exciting.
Exclusive to the PlayStation 5. And use Miles Morales 1 year after the first game ended. That's super cool. That is definitely a system seller for me, at least. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Yes, finally, a fucking new Ratchet and Clank game. Jesus. I fucking bought a PS3 again just to play on my Ratchet. I love this series so much, and it looks so good. All the dimension jumping without loading times, that's insane. So there's also like a new female Lombax that nobody knows the name of yet. So yeah, it looks really, really beautiful. Now this one is a system seller. Like, I will buy a fucking console just to play Ratchet and Clank. Other things that looks cool. Stray is a game where you play a stray cat in an open world kind of thing. It looks really nice. I'm not really sure what kind of gameplay I will have though. Sackboy, a big adventure where you play Sackboy from Little Big Planet. It's like a puzzle platformer kind of thing. What else? Oh, they also showed off the new Horizon game.
Still need to play the first one. I still need to play that first one because, like, I don't know, I just haven't downloaded it and played it, which is very irresponsible of me because I know it's a really good game, but I'm excited they're gonna have a second one.
Aren't they making like a anime or like a show or something out of it set in the world of Horizon Zero Dawn?
Really?
I don't know.
No
maybe.
idea.
I thought I saw some concept art. Let me Google.
They're gonna remake
Horizon.
Demon Souls.
Oh yeah,
It's called Horizon Forbidden West.
that's
The
what
new
I'm
one.
thinking of. Oh, the new one. Okay, never mind. Not what I'm thinking of.
No
Maybe-
price
maybe
though
not.
for PlayStation 5. They didn't show off the price. So it's, I think Xbox and Sony, Microsoft and Sony is just waiting for each other to like
Okay. I don't
name the
think
price
that's it.
maybe. Xbox should just tweet something like, whatever Sony's gonna sell PS5 for, we're gonna sell our Xbox for $50 less or something. Like, just get it over with. EA showed off a bunch of stuff. The biggest one is definitely the Star Wars Squadron. And they also released a bunch of games on Steam. I have no idea why though, but yeah. I'm gonna guess there are some people who have been like avoiding buying EA games just because it's Origin. I mean, they
Gotta be
also
somebody.
announced a new Skate game. So the last Skate game came out like years ago, Skate 3 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, I think. Yeah, that's all mostly from EA. Star Wars Squadron and Skate were the two biggest ones that everybody liked.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also the PC gaming show. They mentioned Persona 4 Golden. Torchlight 3 is in early access. Have you guys played Torchlight before? I played Torchlight 2
Yeah.
quite
I've
a
heard
bit.
of it, but I didn't play it.
I think I played 2 all the way through, and I played 1 but didn't finish it.
I'm sure there's like a lot of things, but it's just some of these things are just like trailers of already announced games,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's not that much. Yeah, I would say the thing that I was most excited for was the PS5 stuff, simply for Ratchet and Clank. Like that's Spider-Man, I guess.
Did you play the previous one,
Which one?
Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite games.
Cool. And I know I don't think I've talked to anybody who didn't like it. I didn't know you played it.
Like for the PlayStation 4, if I had to choose like 3 games that would make me like buy a PlayStation 4 just to play those 3 games, it would be Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, and like throw in whatever else in there. Just those 2 is the ones I care about. Yeah, not much honestly. Not much else. You guys have anything you want to bring up?
Not really. Everything's. Cyberpunk got pushed back again November.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, more crunch.
I
You
still,
guys didn't
I'm still
crunch
want to
hard
play
enough.
it, but oof.
Jesus Christ.
Hope they're okay.
Yeah, I hope they're like CD Projekt Red is good to consumers. They're not good to developers.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
I guess that technically gives me time to pre-order, but we'll see.
Yeah. A delay just means more crunch. It's not less
Yeah.
crunch, it's just more crunch.
Longer
Yeah.
ends the crunch.
Yeah. They announced it like a couple of days ago or something, right? Like quite recent.
Yep, it was very
This week,
recent. It was
for
this
sure.
week.
I think the new date is November 19th now.
That's correct. November 19th, yeah.
It's a pretty far pushback.
Yeah, that really sucks.
It is.
Really sucks for the developers, I mean, that needs to crunch.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Heroes
said that,
of the
like,
Storm just got May from Overwatch? Heroes of the Storm is still a thing?
I thought it is still a thing, but I thought they'd officially, like,
And
we're
the
not gonna
support or something?
put anything new. Yeah, basically no support. I guess I'm wrong because they're doing that. I don't even know who Mei is in Overwatch.
The ice one.
the ice one, the one
Ah.
that kind of, yeah.
The Chinese woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much else. Are you guys excited for Bill and Ted 3?
I'll definitely. I'm looking. I didn't know it was soon, but yeah, I'm excited.
Not my
for
type
it, I
of
guess.
thing, but yes. But sure.
There was another movie called Tenet. Have you guys heard of that?
Yes.
Christopher
I
Nolan.
don't know a lot about it, but it looks very interesting. Mostly because Nolan's involved, and it looks kind of
Of
weird.
course.
It's yeah, it's like some weird time travel stuff with agents
More
and shit.
time! More
Yeah.
time and space.
But it's
Robert Pattinson, right?
Rob Pattinson.
Oh.
The main guy, the actor, what is he from? Seems very familiar. I keep
David?
thinking it's the guy that's from the telemarketing movie. But I don't think it's him. No, it's not. Oh, he's the guy from Black Klansman.
Oh,
Like the black guy from Black Klansman.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Stallworth.
I don't know his name. I think it's the only thing I've seen him in.
Yeah, I think it's quite new. Like that's probably his biggest role, and Tenet is probably his biggest role now because Nolan and shit. But I heard that Nolan is really pushing Warner Brothers to release the movie in theaters, and because he wants his movie to be the COVID opener or some shit. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Damn it, Nolan.
And Warner Brothers like
Some guy shot his own zombie movie, and then he rented out a theater, and he bought all of the seats, and so technically he was like the #1 movie in Northern California or North America for like a month or something like that.
That is hysterical. There's a guy who made a Killer Bees movie with social distancing, so people just like had to like film themselves with each line, and it's really bad. It's terrible.
I'm trying to. I'm like this. I'm in this group of like 5 people right now, and we're trying to write. Do you guys know the show MXC, or Most Extreme Elimination Challenge? It was very popular in the early 2000s.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You mean the Japanese game show thing?
They basically took a Japanese game show from the 80s and then dubbed it over.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
We're trying to write a show similar to that. Not quite the same. The idea is it'll hopefully be a little more educational, and each episode will be a different weird sport from around the world. Like you've probably seen like what's the one where they chase a wheel of cheese down a hill, or like extreme ironing or that kind of stuff. But most of the show would be like 2 people commenting over like as if they're announcing the sport. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to film it if we can't have the 2 announcers in the same spot at the same time. It's definitely possible. We have ideas, but it's we need to figure out the actual like logistics of who has the camera when and how do you actually record it and then edit it, that kind of stuff. Fun COVID.
COVID.
One thing with weird sports, I always find it funny that they do weird sports, and it's always like you said, extreme ironing or like chasing a cheese wheel down the hill or something. But then they will always include we have a sport in Southeast Asia, mostly played in Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia, called sepak takraw, and it's imagine like badminton or like tennis, but not so big of a court. 3 guys on each side, so with a net, and you kick a ball made of like rattan kind of thing. It's like it's really hard, and these guys are fucking athletic because you can only kick it, and you have to kick it over the net. So
I've seen this. Yeah.
So imagine volleyball, but instead of smacking with your hand, you gotta kick it.
Yeah.
And obviously the net is not as high as volleyball, which is insane if it is. But they'll be turning and twisting in the air to kick it with really strong force. And it's an actual sport. It's not like chasing a cheese wheel down a fucking hill. Like that's not
I'd watch like an anime about the high school team for that sport, for sure.
There's an anime for that?
No,
Okay.
I said if there was one I would watch it.
Okay.
Maybe there is one. I don't know.
But yeah, it's like crazy athletic. And it's supposed to be weird. I'm like, I don't get it. I really don't.
Some of our list is less weird. Like we have like chess boxing, which is weird, but I feel like everyone knows that one. Cup stack. Chess boxing is where you do like 5 minutes of speed chess, or like a minute, some amount of time of speed chess, and then a round of boxing. You just go back and forth.
How is this something that everybody knows?
I guess maybe they don't. I don't know. I just feel like it was popular. It's like
really,
like isn't chess boxing a weird, funny? There's a Wu-Tang Clan song called Chess Boxing, I think.
Okay.
Or about cup stacking or caber tossing. Those are 3 that are on our list, which I feel like are maybe slightly less like wife carrying. Maybe it's a little weirder, or
it's really
weird. Wrestling, competitive tag.
The competitive tag one is crazy though. Have you seen?
I have, yeah.
Super. It's like advanced parkour, super athletic people.
Yeah, the one we're doing for the first episode is a sport I hadn't heard of called Duds. It's like a northern, like Norwegian kind of thing where it almost looks like a belly flop competition, but you're not supposed to belly flop. So the idea, like the points are for things like you jump off the diving board, and like basically if you can like hold an interesting pose, that's worth points, and the longer you can hold it, that's also worth points. But then you also like lose points if you belly flop. So like you have to like bend and like break the water. It's like you're trying to minimize your splash, but not do like a perfect pencil splash. So there's all these weird rules around it. But it's fun to watch like people just do these bizarre, like almost belly flops.
Okay, that's pretty weird.
Anyway, yeah. So filming in Scope is weird. That's how that started.
I guess one last thing: the itch.io bundle, the $5 bundle for the charity.
I'm beginning to do that. I need to do that like right now.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, it's over. for a few days now.
Damn it!
I didn't know you guys didn't know.
I knew about it. I know. I have
didn't
no
know
excuse.
about it.
I knew about it. I just did not get on a computer and just buy it.
There's
but yeah, it was a really good
1,500
bundle for-
games on there.
Yeah,
in the
it was a
bundle.
crazy it was for Black Lives
I'm
Matter,
sure
right?
I saw an
Yeah.
email and just didn't read it.
And it's
Yeah.
like some really popular
I
games
also-
was on there too, like Celeste, Night in the Woods,
Yeah.
those kind of stuff.
I also
man.
don't go on itch.io, so it wasn't like an easy one-click buy for me. I would have to
Yeah,
have made an account.
their
and
goal
everything.
was 5 million, and they reached 8 million just before they.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I really want to support itch.io.
It also is. They're supporting it was a Black Lives Matter or like
100%
group,
is
right?
going to like BLM charities or something.
Yeah.
Yep. So the bundle is called like racial injustice or something. Like, there's one now on Humble Bundle, which is more expensive. It's like $28, but there's quite a few games on there as well.
Okay.
It's
I
not
do
as good
have
of a
an account.
value as itch.io, obviously.
No, but yeah, I actually.
But you
have an
do
account
get, I
with
guess,
Humble
Steam
Bundle.
keys, I suppose. And the Humble Bundle one also 100% goes to charity.
Yep.
But just double check. I might be wrong.
Yep.
And also the timing is just they probably like, oh, that's a good idea to do, and they probably just wait until itch.io was over.
Yeah, they
It's
probably
good
just wait
PR.
those over. Which I mean, fair enough.
I mean, at least the money is going to charity, I guess.
Exactly. That's all that really matters. I mean, there is something to be said about maybe not trying to burn out people with buying like stuff twice in a row. So I mean, hey, whatever works.
So yeah.
I wonder if it's possible to like flood the video game market, like the Steam sale. Like already, I have this game on itch. Now I have a Steam key. I'm just gonna give the Steam key away, and then like you see like sales for that game just like never like happen again because there's just so many keys floating around.
I think it's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Do the thing.
Should I do the thing? All right. This is Sarahscopic, Sarehscopic. I'm less on YouTube these days. I'm still on Twitter, but I also do another show, RNG and T. Look us up on Twitch. We do a lot of live streams of lots of different things. We do a lot of community gaming, and we do a podcast there as well. Say hello.
And I'm Foehamner, and I am actually, well, the past 2 weeks haven't been a good example because I've been busy doing job hunty, real world crap, but I am fairly active on YouTube.
And I'm Pupunoob, P-U-P-U-N-O-B, you know where. This has been episode 173 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.